Warhammer 40k faction is the most sexist? Hello, I'm Don, and this is Tom, and today we're going to be talking about sexism in Warhammer 40k.
It's no coincidence that women and sexism appeared at the same time. It's a man's natural defense mechanism that keeps them sane while they keep the world spinning. But despite Warhammer 40k being for the boys, the grim darkness of the far future is still crawling with girls.
So, which faction are best at keeping the grim dark future of the 41st millennium spinning? How do they put up with women? Do they let them pilot spacecrafts? They still have to explain what a check engine light is? Very funny.
We're going to be getting into all of that and more in today's video, as we rank each of the factions on what the men of 40k have to put up with and which are the best at being sexist.
Coming up first is the Space Marines. What do you think, Tom? No female Space Marines? Ever? Forever?
Forever and ever! And ever! If they ever make female Space Marines, I'm gonna fucking revolt. I'm gonna hurl, I'm gonna pick shit and not come. Unacceptable, don't ever do it. And I'm gonna break this down too, because I know a lot of people are like, what in the fucking... The reason that you don't have female Space Marines is not just because of sexism, it's also because you bring a monastic brotherhood, like, knightly vibe to the setting. It's not arbitrary. You can't just fucking change things and it not have an effect. But that also means the thing that's cool becomes fucking lame, dude.
Why can't there be sisters in the Brotherhood, Tom?
There are sisters of battle. You know what?
Sisters of Battle are sweet.
I think they're sick.
Are they weaker? Yes.
Yeah, but that's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
They make up for it by being, you know, more hormonal. That's the thing, man. These things matter. You can't have male sisters of battle because it would ruin the whole convent theme.
Ooh, we should have male sisters of battle.
Brothers of battle.
They're also wearing the little corsets.
That's right, of course. They've also got boob armor.
Space Marines are just meant to be Dark Ages Templar monks living in a monastery, being warrior psychos. And there is a, like, masculine foundation to that, just like there's a feminine foundation to a convent.
What were we talking? What's this video about again?
I feel like we should have busted the muscles out for this one.
Yeah, you're right, dude.
Now it's better. Yeah.
All right. Okay, so Space Marines, not only do they not let women in, they are biologically incapable of having a female Space Marine. In the lore, you need the nubile young body of a boy. Girls simply won't do.
It's impossible, dude.
There's no space in the uterus to put more organs. So, you explain that, lip.
So you literally cannot be a female Space Marine, and also they're like sexless war psychos. Like their dicks don't work. They're not even interested in women sexually. Yeah, I don't know. Where does this elevate them on the tier list for you? It's gotta be up there.
It's fucking high.
I mean, do they hate women?
That's a good question.
We like to imagine so, obviously. But do they actually hate women?
I've never seen anything that would suggest they hate women.
So they don't actually hate women?
Yeah, I don't think they even I don't think they care.
Yeah, they're just kind of ambivalent, but there's also 0 women in their ranks ever, and it better stay that way.
I'm gonna say this is a solid A.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Let's re-prosecute this.
There's no actual hatred for women, though.
And just because you can't literally be something, it doesn't mean you're being excluded, right?
Yeah. NBA players don't hate short guys.
Great point. Just because you weren't born with the genetic attributes to be 7 foot tall, it doesn't mean the NBA is like...
Hates you.
Can you be sexist without hatred? Can you find us the definition of sexism?
I don't think so.
I always have a healthy dose of hatred with my sexism. Prejudice, stereotyping, or discrimination typically against women.
Discrimination. So you don't have to hate them, you just have to discriminate.
You just have to discriminate.
And this is 100% discrimination.
I think we stick with A tier then.
Yeah.
They are sexist, just by their very biology, I guess. It's just we've discovered that sexism doesn't need a hatred component, it just helps.
Yeah.
All right.
It does help.
A tier. Tyranids. Tyranids, the bug-like hive mind / dinosaur race.
So they just eat everything. They don't really have genders themselves. Like there's the Norn Queen that births them, but...
Norn Queen, that's matriarchal. But I don't think they care what your gender is. They just want to eat you. And I don't think they care what their gender is. And I don't think they discriminate in any way. They're definitely all guys though, except the Norn Queen.
Yeah.
Interesting.
In spite of what some people would wish.
If you keep owning the libs at this rate, I mean, you're gonna be on Tucker Carlson before we know it and hit the big leagues.
Take that!
Take that, libtards!
All right,
And
F.
women.
So it's F.
Yeah, I think the Tyranids are just, they're a genderless society almost. And the only gender that does really exist is the Norn Queen.
Ooh, does she hate men though?
No, I don't think so.
She doesn't hate the male bugs beneath her?
She probably hates men because they're like better at resisting her. Like putting together armies and stuff, you know, but...
All right, we got to say F.
All right, F tier for the Tyranids. Who's next?
Imperial Guard.
The Imperial Guard, the Hammer of the Emperor. The humans, regular soldiers. I've got to think they're pretty sexist.
I think they've always had female guard in the war, though. That's not like a recent bastardization. It's always kind of been a thing.
Okay, this is a genuine question. And maybe this isn't me begging the question. This is a real question. If you are a society that is losing trillions of soldiers at all times, why would you put the half of the gender that can make new soldiers in battle, put them at risk? Like, I never understood that. If you're saying it's been a part of the law for a time immemorial or whatever, and a lot of people are like, female guard, it makes sense. I never could understand why you would want to do that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying it's good sci-fi. I just think, I'm pretty sure it's how it actually is. Doesn't make any sense. Like, the entire thing is, every race is kind of on the brink of extinction, hemorrhaging lives.
Well, not every race is on the brink of extinction. I just want to head off the people who are like, well, orcs and...
Yeah, that's fair. We're talking about Warhammer 40k, what it is versus what it's not. I believe what it is they take women and men, whether it makes any sense or not.
That's fair. And if we're taking the universe as written, maybe they're not that sexist, but if there was any, like, application of real-world logic to it, you know those guardsmen are sexist as hell.
Yeah,
you're telling me that
bully the ladies.
Yeah, are you telling me that like they live in these like theocratic, fascistic societies and stuff, and they think women are equal to them? Like it just doesn't track.
Sergeant Melissa's so tough.
Sergeant Melissa's a real badass.
I'm gonna kick your ass if you're not careful.
That's right. You better buckle up, soldier. She's a real firecracker.
Plus, they've got the Catachans, which are just like Andos from Predator.
Do they have Catachans?
I think they started making models for them. Although I don't think it was ever implied before that there were Catachan ladies, but you know.
Dude.
Hey ho.
The woke mob at it again. Someone's got to stop this.
All right, so they're allowed in the ranks. Where do they go in the?
Really want to hammer home this point. What really fucks me off is when people don't apply like real logic to... This is maybe an aside, but I want this out there so people don't think I'm just a frothing at the mouth like woman hater. Although obviously I am. But in Game of Thrones, I saw an interview with the guy who plays Samwell Tarly. He's like Jon Snow's fat friend. And this guy's on the interview like, oh, people seem to really care that like you aren't losing the weight, but you're at the wall where you don't get any food for like months at a time, right? No calories. And the guy's response was like, there's fucking dragons in this show, but people are worried that it's unrealistic that I'm not losing weight. What about the dragons? The fucking dragons are an established part of the lore. Their physiology or whatever makes sense within the world, but it's never been established. Calorie deficits don't exist in this world.
And you can't starve.
Yeah.
Or you can starve without losing your fat stores, you know.
It's such a fucking lazy argument and I hate it.
It just breaks your immersion. You can have specific rules for a world, but there being consistent specific rules is what makes the world seem real. Whereas if you'll just break rules and not really have any rules, then it just becomes like a wishy-washy soup that has no uniqueness or aesthetic or appeal.
Just admit that you couldn't be fucked to like go through that grueling process and who cares? That's fine. That's a fine answer. But let's not pretend that the dragons are the problem.
You can't like appreciate, oh, they're living on like shitty soldier rations as much if you have a guy that's just like overweight and not losing weight.
I've had to get that out of my system for literally years.
Now it's on the internet.
It's important.
It is. God, what a couple of boys we are.
Yes, anyway.
Anyway.
The Tau! Oh wait, we didn't put the god.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, based on how they're written, but what we know about humans, it's gotta be like D or C. D?
Let's say C.
Let's say C and we can rearrange.
Tau. Yeah, they also have females in their ranks. Commander Shadow Sun.
Oh yeah, that's true. The Tau, why don't you tell people what the Tau are? That's important.
The Tau are new race, an alien race. Their whole culture and kind of aesthetic is riffing off of Asian cultures and also communism.
Anime communism.
Anime communism. They have this idea of the greater good that permeates across their entire force. They riff off of kind of a mix of multiple Asian cultures, sort of like the samurai thing, Korean, and yeah, they have female soldiers.
These guys seem probably like the least sexist, or one of.
Yeah, I'd say so.
They're probably more sexist than Tyranids, right?
Just on a like being sentient bipedal things walking around with two delineated races.
There's definitely not an equal split. Like, there's way more male commanders in the Tau than female, at least as far as we've seen from the lore, right? Mm-hmm. And most of the soldiers seem to be depicted as male, unless they've got some weird breeding shit where there's only one woman birthed for every 10 men, like China, then it makes sense to me that they're sexist, or at least more sexist than Tyranids who have no gender.
They also have a caste system, and only the fire caste generally is the fighters, and then I think the water caste is like the flyers or something. So,
And you are the wife caste. You are the breeding caste.
the breeding caste.
It's very honorable.
It's not like the whole of the race throwing their breeding resource at the armies, you know? It's only fire caste. I'd say, I mean, you can't say they're as not sexist as the Tyranids, so you gotta say D.
All right.
Or put them ahead in F, but let's just say D. Necrons.
Oh boy. Necrons are an ancient race who used to basically control the whole galaxy. They got tired, went to sleep, and now they're slowly reawakening on their tomb world to get rid of the riffraff on their lawn, which is everyone else.
But before that, they turned their entire race into robots. They used to be flesh and blood, and now they're Terminator skeleton machines. So technically, when you look at little Necron guys with their guns, some of those were women. There's no like delineation. Oh, like, do the women stay in the ground and not get up and let the men do the men's work? You know? We don't know, but
You women stay in the tomb. We're going to go out and fight. I'm gonna be honest, like, I'm not as up to date with the new lore. I'm just gonna put them with the Tau though. I don't feel like I ever read about them being like, women, yucky. All right. Eldar, or Eldari for you newfangled kids. Space elves and everything that comes with that. I would say they're probably F, bro.
they've always had, and again, this is another one that makes no sense, kind of bad sci-fi, but they have always had female Eldar running around with a little booby armor on the models, you know?
For me, the Eldar actually makes more sense. The reason it doesn't make sense with women and Imperial Guard is just from a pure, like, army sustenance lens. You're losing your breeding stock, who can make more soldiers. Sorry to phrase it like that. I know that might rustle some jimmies, but with the Eldar, you might have a Farseer who's a chick whose psychic abilities are like unparalleled. And then in that case, it's like stupid to keep her as like a child incubator.
But their entire thing is their
A dwindling race.
race is dwindling. They don't breed, really. They're just like constantly complaining about how they're just dying out. I put your females on the front line.
In the case of like Guardians, which are the troop type of Eldar, I totally agree. But imagine you've got some super mega psychic chick. Having her be in that position means through her fucking psychic seeing powers, she's gonna save 1 billion Eldar from destruction. Like, well, now it makes sense, right?
Yep.
Ah, it's tricky. Let's do a zombie situation. You're in a house, there's zombies outside, there's 5 windows. You've got 3 people, one of them's a woman. You wanna fucking like make more people to guard those windows, but right now you don't have that. So you're gonna tell the woman to sit out, or you're gonna get her to guard a fucking window?
Sure. And in this case, they have like super speed. They're basically super strength compared to like regular humans, you know?
So they are a more capable like fighting force than like the male equivalent.
Physiologically, yeah.
They're definitely less sexist than almost everyone else. I'd put them next to Tyranids. I think the Eldar don't give a fuck about gender.
Dark Eldar. Space elves, but evil.
They're sexy Eldar.
Sexy, degenerate, evil space elves.
They
They fuck.
fuck Eldar do anal.
Probably about the same.
I feel like, in a weird way, it's like the opposite of Eldar, where maybe the women and the men are so sexist towards each other, it like cancels it out. Do you know what I mean? I feel like the women would be like,
"Ha, stupid man! I'm going to make you into a lampshade and then ride your face."
and then the man's like,
Yeah.
"Stupid woman! We're gonna slit you like a wishbone, hee hee hee."
that's their whole vibe, is they're just
Yeah.
complete like elitist pricks no matter what. Like us, Don.
So where does that place them?
I don't know. They're almost so sexist, they're not sexist.
Yeah.
They have equal opportunity sexism.
Still got those models with booby armor. You know, still rolling around together.
You're right.
Still capturing and raping together.
We put them in D because they're probably like more sexist to each other than the Eldar are.
Yeah.
But they're still not sexist
It's
in
just
general.
it's just a vibe.
Yeah.
a-
This is a
a vibe.
vibe-based list.
Partially informed vibe-based list. All right. Demons. Demons in 40k are denizens of the warp, which is the immaterium or hell in 40k. The other races in 40k use the warp for spacefaring, but also psychic abilities, but whenever you use either, you run the risk of having to interact with demons. They're basically the demons you know, they're just written into the lore. Probably not sexist at all. Demons are formed from negative emotions and extreme emotions by regular mortal races. So there's demons formed, I guess, theoretically by extreme sexism.
The Great Unclean One gives me sexist vibes.
He seems like a sexist.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think this is, F or whatever, but
I'd put it in D. I feel like they'd be cunts. They'd be mean. They could talk,
yeah, I think you're right. It's got to be D because, like, there's 4 core Chaos Gods: Nurgle, Tzeentch, Khorne, Slaanesh. 3 of them are very male acting, like voices are male, physiology looks male, and then there's one that's got like a much more female and androgynous bent. I feel like that alone is kind of some proof of sexism or sexual dimorphism that could be even used as like a sticking point. The more I spoke, the weaker it sounded.
Their whole deal isn't about sexism, but you could also imagine a demon speaking English or High Gothic or whatever to a, lady and taunting her for being a lady. Just because
Oh, that's true, because it like
little assholes,
it like picks on her.
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
think you just go D,
I like that, Don. That was very big brain. Sis! Chaos Marines!
Chaos Marines.
I got ahead of myself.
Space Marines, but evil.
They worship demons, or at least they have pacts and consortiums with them. They're Space Marines, but naughty.
I think they definitely hate women, actually.
Why is that?
Well, they already hate the Imperium and the cult of Imperium, Space Marines and everything. They're just so hateful and kind of evil and narcissistic. Like you can imagine them slaughtering a bunch of humans and being extra disgusted by the weak ladies.
They barely put up a fight.
Plus, don't they like some of the edgier 40k books? Don't they like as well?
I think you may have been on fanfic.net again, because I don't know if I've read those ones.
Let's look it up, Corgan. Do Chaos Marines in the official fiction?
What a Google search.
Do they condone?
I just want my army to be lore accurate.
Do the 40k Chaos Marines? Can you imagine them not condoning? No raping. That's not what we're about.
Flaying, devastating, lacerating.
Setting on fire.
Absolutely okay, but guys, we've been over this, and I'll just say it again for anyone who wasn't there. No.
Slaanesh gave me a working penis. I can't use it?
Maybe on men. We can tolerate it being used on men, but women, no, that's too far and everyone agrees.
Such a funny thing to ask, Cora. What do we got?
It always makes you wonder about the person asking, right?
Just the
Hey guys, putting together a diorama. I really want it to be lore accurate.
the use of the word condone is very choice.
Do they think it's kind of cool? As a weapon of terror, as an expression of their own power over others, or in the case of Slaanesh's cult, a form of worship, yes. It's just a form of worship, dude.
Doesn't mean we condone it.
This is where my argument about the realism and logic in a setting kind of falls apart. Because it's they would rob them, so why aren't we seeing official artwork of that? It's kind of making it hard to suspend my disbelief here, guys.
Okay, so most Chaos Marines are sexless like their not Chaos counterparts, right? But Slanesh Marines, I think, do have their whole thing is still the pleasure bullshit. They absolutely, they would have to. Everything. I mean, does ripping everything make you sexist? No.
No, not if you're...
They're equal opportunity.
Yeah, if you're men as well, that's not very sexist.
I think in the same way as the Dark Eldar and the demons, they would be like mean to women for being weaker and more helpless. So I don't think you can say F.
You have boobies.
And also there are no female Chaos Marines. At least originally, I guess like Slanesh can give them female parts.
Kind of an interesting thought experiment.
They can't be A with Space Marines on that metric because there is, the possibility of at least like a...
Dude, why has no one ever raised that as a way to have female Space Marines?
Literally, they get female sex organs, like the Slanesh ones, so by the same rubric, they can't be A with Space Marines, unless there's something else.
Put the list on hold for a second. Why has no one thought of this? No one's been like, well, this is our path in. At least it's a path that makes sense. You just have a Slanesh Chaos Marine with massive
Yeah,
Please stop blessing me, Slanesh.
There you go.
I have enough blessings already.
There you go. There's your female Space Marines.
Yeah, that's all you're getting. Enjoy it.
Accept it.
Accept it.
So, B, I guess?
B?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay. How are they less sexist than Space Marines?
Space Marines are A because there's the unavoidable discrimination, whereas in B, mutation can kind of make them have female parts.
That's such a niche thing, though. I mean,
how about you just put them in A and make them less?
If you admit that they would be like, yeah, silly woman, pa 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 pa, and the Space Marines wouldn't, that's more sexist, isn't it?
So it's counterbalanced at least.
Yeah, but I don't think they're S tier.
No, yeah. So all right, let's just go A.
And then Space Marines drop to what, B?
Well, the Space Marines can be an A with them, just for their own reasons.
Alright, Alright, Sisters of Battle. They're equally as racist as Space Marines.
Sexist. Talking about sex.
Oh, yeah, right, sorry. Freudian slip. They have male figures in their army.
Someone has to run the...
Someone's gotta figure out the hard stuff like logistics and maths.
Someone's gotta set curfew in the...
I mean, we don't want them running wild. Gotta keep them away from the guardsmen, whatever. They do have, what is it? The guys with the two-handed chainsaws, sick by the way. They've got that guy in the big siege engine. Like, there are men in their army or their like hierarchy, but Space Marines there are not.
But they're also just kind of like allies. They're like part of the Inquisition.
They're allies.
They're
They just come up like waving their fuck.
Like, you wouldn't say that guy is a sister of battle.
Yeah, but I'm just trying to compare it to Space Marines.
Well, I mean, you could have, in a force comprised of Space Marines, you could have Calidus Assassin, you could have Sisters of Battle. But when you're talking about that guy with the chainsaw, they do not have the designation Battle Sister.
Yeah, I know, but the Sisters of Battle are accepting a male authority figure. That happened with Space Marines. I guess maybe an Inquisitor.
Yeah, they could be a female Inquisitor.
So what, just put them in A, the same?
If you're literally talking about Sisters of Battle, like sororitas, you can't have male battle sisters. So
now,
there's
I might be
discrimination.
being sexist right now, but I kind of feel like the Sisters of Battle would be a bit more cutty about it than the Space Marines. That's just what I think.
Okay, so here's another thing. Sisters of Battle aren't technically super soldiers. They're regular ladies in regular human power armor. There is no biological thing that stops them from letting there be Brothers of Battle.
Oh.
They're just in a all-girls convent-style army.
That's kind of true, Don, and sick.
So isn't the lore of Sisters of Battle, isn't the reason they exist because the cult of the Imperium can't have an army?
I don't know.
I can't remember. It's something about how it's like a loophole because they're nuns. Why are Sisters of Battle all women? Search that.
The Sisters of Battle are female only because the ecclesiarchy was banned from ever having armed men under its payroll following the age of apostasy. So to Don's point, if this is correct, they weren't allowed to have armed men. They used a little sneaky loophole and like,
we'll just get women.
Yeah. In which case, like...
Yeah, I mean, it's discrimination. I want to be a Sister of Battle.
Why can't I be a Sister of Battle?
It's against the law.
Go back to whatever men do.
And also, it would make Sisters of Battle boring.
It would make it fucking lame.
It's like girls trying to be in Boy Scouts. Fuck off.
Agreed. Fuck off.
Can boys be in Girl Scouts?
Probably.
Probably.
Also, fuck off. No, it's got to be above Space Marines. Because it's not just biology based.
Yeah,
it's
not like an actual physical impossibility.
It's literally the law.
It's just the law.
The Supreme Court said no boys allowed.
Man, Sisters of Battle are sick.
They are sick.
Nice and extreme and fascistic.
There you go, Don. Let it all out.
Leagues of Votan.
I don't know anything about this.
They do have female dwarves. There was much ado about this. The range has always had female models.
I mean, think about the time they were created. It's like the most modern army they've made, right? So they don't have the law from the 80s that are like, women suck. So there's no way they're gonna make these ones sexist. I'm gonna say bottom, like with the Eldar.
You can imagine it's hard-coded to be absolutely, nothing.
Egalitarian.
Boo! No fun allowed! Mechanicum.
Mechanicus. They are the technological branch of the Imperium. They worship metal more than anything else.
They think that you should aspire to be a machine and not a gross living thing. They also tend to use female voice modulators. You can be a man or woman mechanicum, it doesn't matter. It's all about becoming a machine.
Do you think the women are like, have a superiority complex? Because they're like, you've got even more fleshy bits to cut off.
Naturally.
Yeah.
Wow,
an extra fleshy bit? That's kind of lame.
Well, they have their boobies. Kind of a tie. Yeah, I think you gotta drop them in F.
F tier.
Same as Tyranids, they just kind of hate the whole deal.
Dude, throughout this series, we did, which is the most racist Warhammer faction, now we're doing the most sexist. The Sisters of Battle have really grown on me.
That's what I'm saying.
I've never appreciated them.
They're so cool.
You know what I think we've learned on? I think sexism is wrong. I think we didn't give the ladies a chance. Well, let's go to the next one. Inquisitors. This wasn't on the racist list.
I just added this because people wished we went over it last time.
All right, Inquisitors, incredibly not sexist. I feel like about half of them are women's.
They do make the Calidus assassins wear those sexy suits, though.
Do you know what? Maybe the Calidus assassins like wearing those sexy suits. Maybe it's not inherently sexist to appreciate the sexualized human form.
Maybe it just makes us human.
You know, I see this all the time, and it grinds my gears. You know, I'm pretty sure the Danish just removed a statue of a mermaid with like big tits because she had big tits.
Really?
I think it may have been on Breitbart.
I've just dreamed that.
No, it's true.
Woken up mad about it.
I saw it briefly in passing on Reddit, and yes, I'm sorry that sometimes I browse Reddit. Women have big tits sometimes. That doesn't inherently make it sexual.
Oh, yeah, even if it is sexual as well, what's wrong with that?
Yeah, let's tier the argument. Tier 1, there's this weird like push for always having small breasts as if having large breasts is inherently sexist. I just don't get it. Women have big breasts sometimes. And then the second part, like you're saying, like, yeah, I mean, if the statue was vaguely sexual in nature, like, who gives a fuck?
Yeah, isn't it nice that ladies can be sexy? Just like men can be sexy?
Uh-oh. What just happened when you said that? Just like men could be sexy?
I was thinking about Marcus Phoenix, sorry.
Also, big talk of me to be making gay jokes at your expense whilst wearing like short shorts and a cowboy hat. I'm gonna say the Inquisitors are not sexist.
So, F tier?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. They're not concerned with it.
I mean, but we did say the Imperial Guard are like probably semi-sexist because they're just regular humans, but maybe the Inquisitors are the liberal elite.
Yeah. That's the vibe I get.
They're the liberal elite. All right. Orcs. Orcs are a incredibly male-coded species of sentient space fungus.
There are no females.
All they want to do is war, kill, smash, loot.
And in a way, you could argue there's no males because they're sexless. They don't have, right? But they also refer to each other with male pronouns.
Do you think they have cloacas?
No, I don't think they do. They don't, they don't.
They don't like
Yeah.
to make more spores.
It'd be funny.
It would be funny.
That would be good lore if they bummed each other.
I haven't heard someone unironically say bummed in maybe a decade.
Really? You guys don't just say that?
No, I guess we probably do, but
Yeah.
I feel like I never hear it from Americans.
No, we don't say that. I just spend too much time with you.
Yeah, technically they are genderless, but they're so male presenting.
They would say like he.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Even though they don't have dicks, it's
They're
not like
men.
they don't call each other it. It's 100% men. It's impossible to be women. So by the same rubric as Space Marines, they'd have to be at least A. Are they really excluding anyone from being an orc? Because you just can't be born a female orc.
Yeah, it's not discrimination to be born with one gender. There's got to be a real world example where it's like a single gender species. Okay, hold on. There are species on Earth that exist with only one gender. The most well-known example is a New Mexico whiptail lizard. What a sick name, whiptail lizard. Good job on whoever named it, which is an all-female species. The lizards reproduce through parthenogenesis, meaning their eggs develop without fertilization. That's cool. Are they sexist because they're just women that make more women? I don't think so.
Yeah, they're not discriminating.
There's no discrimination, it's just their biology.
We're saying Space Marines are discriminating women because women can't be Space Marines. But it is a physical reality that they can't be Space Marines. Just the same that a woman orc can't exist. That's a physical reality. Do you call that discrimination?
You are making incredibly good points. A few slips here and there with things that could be misinterpreted, but no, you're right, and therefore Space Marines can't be discriminatory either.
Yeah.
Which means they have to drop down, like...
A lot.
A lot. Oh man. Space Marines kind of fucking suck. They weren't even the most racist, and now they're not the most sexist either?
Maybe the least sexist?
Oh my god.
Oh. Alright, so where do we put orcs? Also least sexist? It's almost like Warhammer 40k isn't very sexist at all. And we
Warhammer's gone woke.
What a disappointment. What a bummer.
And the Chaos Marines, I mean, they've got to drop at least some.
I still think they'd be mean to ladies.
I agree, but there's no biological discrimination, and they do have Space Marines that can probably grow labia.
Maybe we just say B.
Are they more sexist than Imperial Guard? I feel like Imperial Guard would discriminate massively on purpose.
Just as like GI jarhead.
Yeah,
heads.
dude, there's no fucking way that you're some like hive world scummer who gets put into the Imperial Guard and you're like, actually, I believe in equality.
I just feel like the average Chaos Marine massacring little humans. I just feel like the like muscly guy with the gun putting up a fight. You just have like the smallest modicum more respect.
So you can't have a muscly woman putting up a fight. That's what you're saying.
Alright, well, an even musclier man before the muscly gang woman. And he's like, I'm a Chaos Marine, I don't respect you because you're weaker.
But are they still less than the Guard? I feel like the Guard...
No, you're right, yeah.
And especially, imagine the Guard get their hands on a female Eldar.
For sure.
Yeah, the Guard are more sexist than the Chaos Marines. So let's drop the Chaos Marines one more.
What do you know?
That is crazy.
Look at how little sexism is in this game.
But we did somehow manage to say that the women are the most sexist.
So maybe we should just all stop complaining and take a look at the Sisters of Battle.
Yeah! Why aren't people worried about them and what they're up to in this universe? Suspicious, interesting.
But please don't touch the Sisters of Battle, they're awesome.
They are fucking awesome. That artwork that John Blanche did of the Sister of Battle stepping like with her high heel.
Her cool high heel.
Yeah, which undoes my other point of like...
combat high heel.
Yeah, where I'm like, dude, it doesn't make sense, so like, why are you doing that? And then I'm like, the high heel is awesome. But...
It's sick, though.
Rule of cool has always trumped everything in 40k.
And female Space Marines aren't cool.
Yes! 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 Well, we found out the ins and outs and dynamics of gender in the 40k universe. But what about race? Isn't that important too? Check out our video on who is the most racist in the Warhammer 40k universe. And also we have a Patreon if you want to support us. Thank you and goodbye.